What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. Today, we have got a special emergency meeting that has been called between the Villa podcasters. Thank you, Ben from BN Talks Ball and Rich from Villa Park Podcast for joining us. I think Sam might be on his way as well at some point. But I just wanted to get into it. We haven't done a post-Spurs podcast. I'm basically skipping it. I'm skipping that game. I'm skipping that game from my freaking memory, because that was disgusting. I gave my my opinions on a very small short after the game, and that's all I want to fucking say about it, because I do not want to talk about that game. Yes, it was terrible.
You missed the goal, mate. You left early.
I know. Yeah, I should have left even earlier. We might have scored 2. But no, I left early because I was like, fuck it, we ain't scored 2. This is terrible, absolutely dreadful. Yes, we scored a goal. If I'm honest, the goal at the end was almost more annoying. It was just like, oh, now you okay, now you've done something. The entire game, it was the worst. I'm not going to talk anymore. Gary, you go, because it was fucking shit.
Look, I'm struggling for words. I've only just managed to calm down with 24 hours.
Yeah, that's a first for you, Gary.
Mate, I've tried so hard not to get rage baited today, but it's fucking happened. I've had messages on TikTok kind of telling me that I shouldn't have a season ticket because I've been critical of Unai Emery, and the players today. I just, for me, it was as unprofessional performance as you'll see in the Premier League. I get it's our second string, right, and they're not good enough. But application is everything in any game of football, right? And it's like you watch that Forest game tonight or this afternoon, and they've done exactly the same. It felt like they're taking the piss out of us. Like we'll make 8 changes, you made 7, we'll make 8, and we'll just go and absolutely trounce Chelsea at home in their backyard. And all I ever want to see from anyone that wears a Villa shirt is that 100% maximum effort, right? That they go in, they put a shift in, and if we get beat, then I ain't got no problem with that. But yesterday, I genuinely believe, in the 40 years I've been a Villa fan, I've been a season ticket holder 20 plus years. That's the worst I've seen us play in terms of giving up and I mean, more worryingly that there was no reaction from Emery on the touchline. He literally just stood still with his hands in his pockets for the entire game, and I don't think he's ever done that in the 4 seasons he's been here. So, and people have said this afternoon, well, it's part of the game plan. He's thrown the game, so we'll drag Forest into a relegation battle. I'm like, what the fucking hell planet are you guys? Like, So, hang on, I'll get myself angry. Right. Relax.
I mean, let's move on a little bit. So, I mean, Rich, I'd be keen to know your thoughts. Like, I mean, I still believe we will. I still believe we'll get Champions League from the league simply just through default. I think just those below us aren't going to do enough, personally. I know there's 6 points gap. There's 3 games to play, but I just don't see Bournemouth doing it. But if we did do that, we didn't win another game. We get knocked out of the Europa League. We end up 5th and get Champions League. How do you feel about that?
I've done all my ranting. I did about 3 videos yesterday. I was on my watch along ranting. I did an instant reaction 11-minute rant, and then me and Sam and Martin got on and ranted for 50 minutes. So I've kind of done all that, and I'm just a little bit ashamed. I'm ashamed of that performance, if I'm honest. And even if we do win on Thursday, that performance yesterday has left a real sour taste in my mouth about the culture at the football club. I just don't expect that from Aston Villa. Look, we had a game against Crystal Palace when we already achieved our objectives of qualifying for the Champions League, right? So I understand that those type of things have happened, but when we're in a situation like this, where we needed a win against Fulham, we could almost guarantee Champions League football. We didn't do it. We played terribly. We needed, we were okay against Forest. Okay, you kind of think, well, that's not the worst result in the world. But you think, Vidigani was out there tweeting, oh, let's think about Thursday. Let's think about Sunday and Thursday. And you got Gillan Balaguer tweeting as well, saying, oh, don't lose your heads. It's all in the master plan. Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of master plan I've been he's probably been listening too much to Oasis to think about a master plan. Because what the hell is that master plan? Like, you know, I'm going off on a tangent there, but it's just I'm a little bit ashamed. And even if we do win on Thursday, that's left a real sour taste in my mouth about how we've gone about this game and the players that came in. You know, we've been crying out for 3 or 4 of them to get starts, and they've absolutely chucked it. You know, Matson, we've been crying out to get a start. Terrible. Sancho, we've been saying get a start.
Yeah.
Awful. But in answer to your question, you know, the part of me, it doesn't surprise me if that was to happen. Like to think that you can just turn on a performance on and off like a tap. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. You know, they're professional footballers. They should be. You know, they're in a privileged position that us as football supporters would give everything to be on that football pitch to have even an ounce of that talent, and to go in and chuck in a performance like that is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed at the minute to be an Aston Villa supporter, and if we go and win on Thursday, great. But I still wouldn't. It still would leave a sour taste in my mouth, and I would look. We probably will do it, like you say, James. We probably will do it. But I said yesterday, if we finish 5th off the back of, you know, relying on Bournemouth to beat Man City, I'd be embarrassed a little bit about that. With all the opportunities we've had, we've gone from a title race and being in the title race, and Unai Emery talking us down from that title race to now being in a situation where we're relying on Bournemouth to lose against Manchester City. What does that tell you about the standards of this football club? I just despair.
It's been a weird season, hasn't it? It's like, I mean, you think about those first 5 games at the start of the season, we're all like, oh my God, are we even going to get top half? It was like, what is going on here? Then we've gone on this title challenge kind of run. Then we're all falling off a cliff. And then it was again, are we even going to get Europe? Now it's a case of, are we going to get knocked out of the Europa League, but might get Champions League just through default in the league? The weirdest season. It's been all over the place. And it's weird because me and Gary quite often talk about, generally, this season, if you look at it objectively, should be a brilliant thing to celebrate. Really. At the start of the season, I don't think anyone really thought we were going to get top 5. I think we were hoping, me and Gary actually said, I'm hoping for top 8, something like that, and win the Europa League. That was the goal. We still might win Europa League. It doesn't feel like that way at the moment. But welcome, Sam. Thank you for joining us. A quick question to you, actually, mate. There's a few things going on in the chat. I'm not highlighting comments, but obviously people can see them in the feed. There's quite a lot of people who are jumping on the Emery needs to go bandwagon, which I think is a little bit insane. Obviously,
we had loads of them on yet last night.
I'd love to hear Sam's thoughts, because Sam's usually quite pragmatic about these things, and usually is eloquently explains these things quite well as well. Sam, I want to know your thoughts to the Emery out crowd.
I thought you were going to ask me about Pep's relationship status. That's all I'm
saying.
I was going to say I've got no idea what he's doing with Mr. Emery out is mental. It's mental. Don't get me wrong. Look, I was really close to breaking down yesterday, and I was contemplating watching rugby or cricket or a different sport, just seeing what was out there. But, as hard as it's been, I said this to Rich yesterday, like, I'm fuming with what's going on and the way that we're playing, the performances that we're putting in, obviously the results, and missing the opportunities that we've had. Liverpool lost yesterday. I'm fuming at all of it, and I think it's unacceptable. But Rich has got this copium thing at the moment that we've been talking about, where he's so frustrated by people saying, "Oh, well, when Unai Emery first joined us, we were in a relegation scrap and this and that." And Rich is right that it's not the right thing to do to just always revert back to, oh, well, we were in the Championship 10 years ago and blah, blah, blah. But that being said, I feel like you need to put everything that you're angry about into context, and especially for Unai Emery. So for me, everything that we've achieved over the last few years has been incredible. Has just been, and we were talking about it today. I asked Rich, I don't know any Villa fan who's happy with our squad. I don't know one. Everyone's saying, "Oh, look how crap our whole squad is." Bailey's not good enough. Watkins not good enough. Morgan Rogers are lazy. Bogart can't play football. Matt, whoever, you can go through the whole team. Everyone reckons our squad is cack. Yet we're still annoyed that we're not beating teams comfortably. But for me, as much credit as you give Unai Emery for all the things that have gone well, he also needs to take responsibility for what's gone wrong. And I think for me, although I would not at this stage, or I can't imagine myself anywhere in the near future like wanting rid of Unai Emery, I think what frustrates me about him is just how stubborn he is, with his tactics, how stubborn he is that even in game when things aren't going well, like against Spurs yesterday, or against Forest, or against Fulham the game before that, like when we're losing and we're not really getting much traction in the game, we can't make a pass, we're not creating any chances. Unai Emery doesn't go, "Hold on, lads, this isn't working. This short passing out the back. Why don't we try and play a little bit long? Why don't you guys push up and try and get through the lanes faster?" It's slow, crappy, tacky build up, and I'm just like, that for me is what frustrates me about Emery. But Emery out is just crazy. It's just not for me.
Do you think that that slower attack? Do you think that is what Emery? Because I feel like sometimes we actually see that really quick one touch. Suddenly we're in the final third, and I'm sitting there going, surely that's what he wants.
When have you seen that, James?
No, to be fair, yes, definitely not the last couple of games. I will say that. But no, I feel like sometimes we do see that, and surely that's Emery ball.
It's usually like what they now call the transition, which essentially is just when someone gives the ball away. But usually it's an interception or someone gives the ball away and they're trying to capitalize on that. But yeah, I mean you only have to look at how long Emi Martinez stands on the ball for understanding how we play. If it was, if Martinez sees it, someone running into the channel, he'll play the long ball. But yeah, you only have to look at that to see at what the instructions are.
Or you could take a look at any time we have a corner or a free kick on the edge of the opponent's box, and we go back to the keeper and start again for some reason.
Yeah, don't get Gary started on on set pieces. Ben, I'm going to come to you now. So actually, Sam was just talking a little bit there about the squad and the players, and we've seen a few things. Again, I'm just watching the comments, and quite a few people are talking about Rodgers, obviously in the transfer window. What are your thoughts on if a bid came in for Rodgers? How much would you take for him? And also, what do you think we need to do in the summer with regards to positions? Because an overhaul when you're going into a Champions League season, personally, I'm not sure how.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it needs to be done, doesn't it? The squad's definitely aging. As for the Morgan Rogers question, if we was to get anywhere near the £100 million mark, which has been spoken about, I'd absolutely snap someone's hands off for him. I think he's one of the most overrated footballers I think I've seen at this football club. If I'm being that critical, he has moments where he shows talent, and he has got something in the locker, but he's nowhere near consistent enough. We've seen it at the start of the season. He was shocking. End of last season, he was shocking. He had that purple patch in the middle, where he was very good, and he won us games like the Man United game, the West Ham game, with moments of brilliance. We can't summarise it any better than that. The goals against Manchester United in particular, when he cut in, superb. But if he's not doing that, what is Rodgers doing? Because it all, and I get it, it's definitely going to be driven from Unai Emery. Unai Emery wants him to get the ball. He wants him to face up players. He wants him to try and dribble past players, because if he beats his man in a one-on-one, he's running straight at their back four. But he's just not doing that anymore. I don't think there's a player in the Premier League, I could be wrong, this is just me spitballing, and just from seeing him, there can't be many people that give the ball away more than what he does. His ball retention is shocking. But yeah, I think 100 million, if he was to offer that, would snap someone's hands off. I think they would even accept around the 80 million mark for him right now.
Yeah, I think 80 right now would be. I mean, if he goes on and has a good World Cup, that potentially pushes that value towards that 100 mil potentially. But I would say 80, because I think that gives us enough to give us a bit of wiggle room in this summer. If we do go on to get Champions League.
It's not just him though, is there? There's going to be quite a few more. I think yesterday's game potentially sealed the death penalty for quite a few of those players that were in that team. You know, I've said before we come online, you know, I've always had a bit doubts with Ian Maatsen personally. If someone was to come in for Maatsen, I would take it in a heartbeat. This is a left back we signed for 37.5 million, I believe it was, from Chelsea. Have we seen that? Look, and people could say, yes, that was a dodgy PSR deal because we sent was it Chukwuemeka or no, it was Kellerman, weren't it? We sent Kellerman the other way. I'm sorry, that's fine, but he's still a 37.5 million fullback. He's worth nowhere near that. If Saudi was to come in for him tomorrow, 30 million off your pop, son. Ta-ra.
He plays every 12 games, though, Ben. He play, like this is the thing about Maatsen. Every single time, and he was shocking yesterday.
He was.
There's no one who was good though yesterday. It was terrible.
I mean, no one was good. I mean, we weren't even calculating who was good yesterday. We were giving people credit for just trying. Like Cash ran around a bit. I guess he can, leave the pitch with his head held high. But like,
mate, Leon Bailey got man of the match for me. He put a corner in that went, and I think someone got the end of it. So
they beat the first man.
He had a new haircut, which is very nice to see.
Yeah,
he'd be the first one getting thrown out the fucking door, in my opinion, personally.
I agree.
I don't know why.
Sam's got a different opinion here. Sam's got a different.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have any.
Leon Bailey's my boy, man. He's my boy.
But do you know what it is, Rich? I think it was a Palace away like 3 years ago when you started the Bailey song. Yeah. I think maybe from there. But like Leon Bailey is an awful footballer, but I don't see why he gets any more smoke than anyone else. I don't know why he gets any more attention than anyone else. But I think I completely agree with Ben, by the way. Like a lot of people, I mean, I felt like their fate was sealed anyway. But I said on our podcast yesterday, there are maybe about 3 or 4 players in this squad that I wouldn't sell. And my problem is, I don't think we're going to make the wholesale changes required. Like, again, an unpopular opinion, I don't think Morgan Rogers is worth even 80 million. I don't even think he's worth 70. I think maybe we'd be lucky to get 60 for him, the way that he's playing. Because, like you say, like Ben said, I don't think there's anyone in the league who gives the ball away more than that. And there's no club who are not going to look at Morgan Rogers' stats and go, hold on a second. Every season he's played at Villa, he's had about 10, 15 good games, and the rest he's been the worst player on the pitch in every single one of those games. So I feel like firstly, we need Champions League. And I think also we need to win the Europa League because we need the prize money, but we also just need the status that will allow us to bring other players in for lower wages. Because you don't want to get the players that we need to get to where we want to get to, but without paying them over the odds. Because this is a Villa thing. Like, if Ben said first player out the door is Bailey, Jadon Sancho. Honestly, I wouldn't like if he's disgusting. I can't believe him. If I was him, I'd give every single penny I've earned at Villa to charity. Every single one.
I suppose at least he's kind of technically not ours, right? Whereas Leon Bailey is back on loan. But
I thought he had a spell though, Sancho, just before his injury, where he looked all right.
What 2 games?
It was shocking.
For 2 games, maybe, I mean, but
maybe a few more than that. But I'm not going to disagree. Yeah, he was.
Bailey had a season.
Ben, do you know what? Do you know what bothers me? Do you know what bothers me about Jadon Sancho is he can't run. Like he is physically incapable of running. He can't dribble, and he's so weak. He gets pushed off the ball by a stiff breeze. Like I watched Jadon Sancho, and I'm like, what does he actually do? Like, what is he better at than me? Which is ridiculous. Yeah, but he doesn't do flicks and tricks. Jay, he's not that player anymore.
He tried against Spurs, and it did not work.
Honestly, I'm a 35-year-old, considerably overweight man, and I don't think that Jadon Sancho would be more effective on a football pitch wearing a Villa shirt than I would.
I think Jadon Sancho's a 25-year-old, considerably overweight man as well.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, what an interesting one for me. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, the thing is, I don't think we get anywhere near the money for him. And I think with the Rodgers thing, and I know you're saying like we wouldn't get 60 million. I think the thing you're paying for Rodgers is it's the potential, right? Like he's not the finished article by any means, but he has very much shown what he can do, and he has done it over not really lengthy spells, but he's done it, 5, 6, 7 games in a row kind of thing. So he's done it in like decent stints throughout the season. The one who's driving me insane, but I think he can be a brilliant footballer, but he just can't stay fit, is Onana. Onana's driving me absolutely up the wall. Yeah. And the thing costs us 50 million. You're unlikely to get that again. But we can't carry that, can we? I'll give this to Gary.
Mate, he's made a plasticine, isn't he? Like you stretch him and he doesn't go back to the original shape. He pulled his hamstring header in the ball. Like I don't understand.
It was his calf, actually. It was definitely his calf. But yes, it was ridiculous.
It's not his calf because the way he held his hamstring. So in which case he doesn't know his anatomy or his legs are that long that I'm just looking at not like his calf. He can't breathe his hamstring. Like whatever it is, like he's been in moments. Like for me with Onana, when McGinn got injured and when our midfield was gone, right, I expected Onana to step up to the plate and be the leader. Right, for £50 million, he should have been the team's engine and drive. And whether it's because of the players around him, he just wasn't. He just didn't step up to the plate. Now, when McGinn and Tielemans come back, he suddenly looked like a player again. Like so, I know that happens, right? Players play better with better players around them. But for 50 million quid, you've got to. You have to. There has to be more. And I don't know what we do with him because if we can keep him fit, yeah, great. But if he's going to be injured every 4 or 5 games, how's that beneficial to us? What do we do with them? Stuck with a player that ultimately we can't use. Do you know what I mean?
Who's going to buy him though? Who's going to buy him? If you can't stay fit, we always say, "Oh, we need to get rid of these players. We need to do this. But who's buying them?"
And also, and we do talk about Kamara, like Sam was just saying.
Yeah. No, I think it's
half a season every season, the last 3 seasons.
He gets an AC. I'm surprised. Has he got any left? I don't know. He's been through more ACLs than Spurs this season. I really like to defend and not just.
No, I really like Onana as well.
I really like Onana, and I think when we didn't have Tielemans and McGinn, obviously with Kamara out, and we were, making do in midfield, I still feel like Onana was like visibly a cut above. And I'm with you guys. Like availability is the best ability, right? And that's what everyone says of it. But I feel like I wouldn't want Onana gone if we could keep him fit. But if he's going to be injured every 45 minutes of football, then we don't have a choice. But like Rich says, who's going to now? How are we going to reclaim that 50 million quid?
Well, I mean, my big question is because today as well on Talk Sport, you had Ali McCoist and Jeff Sterling talking about these horrible rumours that obviously Real Madrid are coming for Unai Emery, right?
That's just bollocks.
It has to be bollocks, right? But
it's nice.
All
these rumours.
What did he say?
Again? If someone's looking for a manager, there's no doubt he's probably on some notepad somewhere, right? Like
they're going to love his tactics, aren't they?
who did he say was going to take Unai Emery?
Real
Madrid.
It's just bullshit.
Yeah, imagine Vinny playing Emery ball.
Honestly, it's just lazy. It's lazy media, right? Like they need a manager. It's a Spanish thing. They always said, "Oh, if he's going to go somewhere, it'll be a Spanish club." It's just lazy. Like
6 months ago, you probably would have when Xavi Alonso got fired. Yeah, I was a little bit worried of Unai. And I think this is a thing. Again, with the context on Unai Emery, I know he's taken a lot of flack for the signings, and I don't know the inner workings of Aston Villa. All I know is that he's got the keys to the city, right? So, my impression is that Unai Emery runs everything in Aston Villa Football Club, and the signings that we've made during his time have been diabolical. I'm talking about signing Harvey Elliott and never playing him. I'm talking about signing Jadon Sancho on 200 grand a week. I'm talking about this kid Allison, who apparently still plays for us, and selling Marlon and buying Abraham. like there's a plethora.
All these young lads as well, like Nedeljkovic and Garcia and this Ozcan and all these players who are going to be the next big thing. Like what?
Enzo Barrenechea.
Barrenechea.
I don't know about him in the squad now, to be honest with you.
Illing Jr. And the thing is, for me, bringing Douglas Luiz back. Oh my god, we need a round 2 of that. But this is what I'm trying
and Leon Bailey. Remember, don't forget
Leon Bailey round 2 as well. No, I do look at the signings and say, look, he's got massive accountability that he needs for that. But then at the same time, we are working on a shoestring budget, and I wonder if I don't think we've ever seen Unai Emery given time and money, and I wonder what he would do. I wonder what he would do if we were just not shackled by these stupid financial restrictions that we have on us. And I do feel for him, because this doesn't feel like an Unai Emery team. And I say that because every single player was either bought by Steven Gerrard or Dean Smith. Yeah. And even the players that we brought back are those players. Look at Ross Barkley; he's a Dean Smith player, and Douglas Luiz and so on and so forth. It's not his team.
Didn't mean to cover you up there, so by the way, Sam. But I mean, it's completely right here. Yeah, it starts with Unai, where Pau Torres is the 10 and defense at 6% position. You trade Marlon for Tammy, bringing back Bailey and dream of signing João Felix. Honestly, the João Felix team will continue to be coming back up. Right, I'm going to move on.
Just before we move on, one last question about Unai Emery, because I'm going to get everyone's opinion on this, and you can go around the table. Yesterday was the first time I've seen Unai Emery motionless. He stood for 90 minutes with his hands in his pockets. And every game I watch him, and he's always directing like an orchestra. He's involved in every kick of the game. Yesterday, he stood literally with his hands in his pocket and didn't move. And should we be concerned by that? What's going on?
I just don't.
Go on, Ben. You go, Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
I personally think it kind of relates back into my point about players signing their death warrants at Villa. I think he set that team out. He set particular individuals in there. He's not seeing what he wanted. He hasn't seen the reaction, and that's them done at Villa. I think he's probably that deflated by the performances of individuals. That's about as best as I can explain it personally. I won't be worried about him in terms of Unai Emery. On Thursday night when we play Forest, he will be fucking playing left back nearly for us. He'll be that heavily involved. I've got no concerns in him. It's all the players for me from that game.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that slightly concerns me is the words that he's used in interviews in the past 2 or 3 weeks, and the words that he's obviously put in his program notes didn't match the actions of him on that game, and so we trust him. He's a brilliant manager and all that, but that kind of thing about the culture, the slight doubt would come up in my mind as to what are the priorities here, because he said he wanted to finish third. He says it's all about the Premier League. It's all about qualifying for the Champions League through the league. We've put in a 50 to 60% performance against Fulham. We've then gone into Nottingham Forest, and we have been marginally better. Yes, there was a couple of incidents that were unfortunate for us in that game, but we didn't put everything in. But it was a typical European away performance that we put in, and then we had that debacle yesterday. So that's the only thing that kind of I'm a little bit a little bit of a doubt about with Unai, is that those words haven't matched the actions. But Thursday is going to be all about. He's going to be marching up and down the touchline doing all that. But I just don't get why that wasn't done yesterday, because we could have all of the things that all of the positivity that would have gone into Thursday's game, regardless of the result. Even if we'd have lost to Tottenham, if we'd have put a big effort in, if everyone had given 100%, we would have said, look, he made loads of changes, but those players came in, and a lot of the responsibility is on the players. I absolutely agree with that. But, we're now going into a situation where we've got Forest absolutely flying. They've made changes. They've had a brilliant result today. We're on the floor as football supporters. We're baffled as to what's gone on. We've scored 1 goal in 3 games, being a 96th minute effort that was our only effort on target. And now we've got to go into a game where we're in a deficit. It's pretty much the biggest game of the last 20, 30 years at Aston Villa. That's where I don't get. That's what I'm not understanding. Yeah. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I agree. Just quickly, just to touch on something that someone's put. So Tammy is a better centre forward than Marlon, to be fair. I mean, currently what we're seeing, I'm not sure I would agree with that right now. Let's get on to Thursday, right? I don't really want to. I'm terrified, if I'm honest. Like with my everyone knows my in-laws connections with Forest. We've actually got a couple of Forest fans, I think, in the chat as well, singing about how they always win away. I think, to be fair, their record, I think they've only conceded under Pereira. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they've only conceded 1 goal in the last 6 games or something like that. It's something crazy. So we obviously need to score more than 1 goal on Thursday. Gary, I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to do a bit of a round robin on this for Thursday. What are your thoughts about Thursday?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to follow on from Rich's point because I think it's the actions aren't matching the words, and it's beginning to frustrate me. I think for the last few weeks, last few games, we've heard Emery talk about there's more to come. Keep dream. In fact, in his program notes yesterday, he said there's laser focus on the Premier League, and the fans should dare to dream. And that was actually in black and white. And now at this stage of the season, the words are cheap, mate. It's about what they do on the pitch, right? Fulham game, I was fuming. I was frustrated because, like we've said, there's an opportunity. The Forest game, I was really disappointed. I know it was a typical away performance, and we went there to go and draw, and the result isn't the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. However, it looked like I still thought it was a bit timid. We didn't try and really go and win the game. It's kind of when they scored again, the stubbornness. Let's not make changes. Let's just keep it 1-0 and see if we can see that out. And then yesterday was what it is, like the complete lack of desire, the passion to win a football match. Look, when your chips are down and the confidence is low, you go back to basics and you just put a shift in. Go and run yourself into the ground. Go and chase every tackle down. Go and chase every ball down. Close the space down. Move off the ball. Be there for one another. And I'm just a little bit concerned that the mentality of this squad is suffering big time at the moment. And I don't know if we've got it in the locker to step up and batter Forest. On paper, we've got the team there. Like our full strength squad against Forest at home, who haven't won there in 32 years, whatever it is. We should get a result. We should be able to beat them, and get through. But what I'm seeing again isn't matching up to the words that's coming out of the dressing room. So I am as nervous as fuck about this going into this game. I am. And I want to be there on Thursday, and will be there on Thursday, and just wanted to enjoy it. Now, if we'd have won yesterday, for instance, I think it would have taken the pressure off a little bit. Right, but now all of a sudden, Burnley game's pressure, and while it's unlikely that Bournemouth will catch us, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. If we play like we did yesterday, right? We win another game, and Bournemouth are on fire as well.
You only actually need to win. You only actually need to win 2 as well because their goal difference is better.
Yeah. So and they're playing for their manager who's leaving at the end of the season. There's a togetherness in that squad. I'm not seeing a togetherness there in the depth that we've got. It's now to the people to come back. So now we're relying on McGinn, who might be a little bit injured. We don't know, right? It looks like he's likely to play, but that's what I've read today. But
a tight hamstring. I think he felt a tight hamstring.
Yeah, so they've not risked him. Okay, whatever. Is Onana going to be back at any point for Thursday? He's going to like to be on the bench, or is he out? I haven't really heard anything about his injury. It just feels like all of a sudden there's like a bit of a disconnect between us and the because the words don't match up. So you're going, what's actually going on? What state is the squad in mentally? And are we prepared to do it? Because look back over the last 3 seasons. Look at the semi-final against Palace, bottled, right? Semi-final against Olympiacos, bottled. And now is it third time lucky? I fucking hope so. Mate, part of me doesn't want to go, but part of me can't miss it because I just can't.
Don't do that. Don't be stupid.
No, mate, of course I'll be there. I'm just like I just don't.
Calm down, Gaz. Relax.
Yeah, calm down. It's okay.
Win something.
Calm down.
30 years. I want a trophy.
Give Ben a chance. Give Ben a chance. It's a round robin, right? Ben, what are we thinking Thursday?
I think there's a lot of negativity at the moment within the fan base. There's a lot of pessimism amongst the fan base, and rightfully so. We've seen it a million times from Aston Villa where we have shit the bed and we haven't got over the line. But ultimately, in the European football, we've delivered at Villa Park. Yes, we didn't get past PSG, but that night we beat PSG at home. We beat Bayern Munich at home. Villa Park is going to be the loudest I've ever experienced in my life. It'll piss all over the PSG game. The Villa fans, we will do our bit. Yeah. I'm going to do a bit of content on it. I'm calling for all Villa fans, get to the Trinity Road, welcome the players in. I want literally Villa Park to have that their atmosphere to drive the players over the line, and they will. The big one for me, and we've touched on him already briefly, is Onana. If he's missing, that could really hurt us. But I look back to the Forest game when we played them in the league at their place. We should have beat them.
Yeah,
it was just shit finishing. The game at their place the other day. You know, I know I've seen people say about, you know, Watkins should have took his chance, but we weren't on it that day. And if we walked out of there with the 0-0, like fucking Luca Digne weren't playing fucking volleyball, again, if you walk away from it with a 0-0, everyone's happy. There's no one's going to even say boo to a goose. We're 1-0 down at half time. They're coming to our place. Villa Park's going to be ridiculous, and I genuinely think they're going to shit the bed. Our players will rise to the occasion. We'll get through. We will be in Istanbul, and we'll all be having a pint together. That's it. Spread some positivity.
We've got Sam shaking his head. I'm going to come to you next time.
Oh, the problem is I love Ben so much as well. Like, I love all of his stuff and his content. Do you know what, Ben? I completely agree with you. I reckon that Villa Park's going to be absolutely bouncing. I reckon there's going to be positivity flowing through the stadium until about 4 minutes in when they're 2-0 up, and we haven't made a forward pass yet, and you know and 3 of our players have been injured, and someone's been sent off, and Unai Emery like walking to Madrid. Like, do you know what? I would love it. I would love it if you know I could have some confidence. And Ben's absolutely right. We are in the game, scoreline wise. It's 1-0, and we're coming home. Like, absolutely, we were still in it, but we're not in it. And the reason that we're not in it, and the reason that I reckon we're not going to win on Thursday, I don't think we're going to win the game, I don't think we're going to win the tie, is because as James said earlier, I'm pretty pragmatic, and I'm evidence-based, and there's like this blind faith for me, whilst I still have it, and I'll still be there on Thursday, and I'll still be supporting the team the whole time. Like, there is no evidence to support the idea that we are going to beat Forest on any basis, on from any of the games that we've seen previously, from the way that Forest are playing right now, from the players that we have available to us for a selection, from the last game. Like, I mean, just look at the lack of chances created across the last 3 games of, you know, Fulham, Forest, and Spurs. Like, that's what's really worrying for me, is I don't see at the moment how we score goals. And something Rich said earlier was, even if we do find a way to score the 2 goals that we need, like, that's banking on the fact that we're going to keep Forest out and they're not going to score any goals. And again, there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that we're going to keep a clean sheet. So look, I'm with Ben, man. I want to be positive. And I want to believe, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be supporting, and I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to be booing anyone. I'm not, I'm going to be in party mode the whole time. But if we're just talking pragmatically and like, well, what do we think the result's going to be on Thursday? I don't think we have enough. I don't think we do it. And it's really sad for me to say that, but I just feel like there's so much across the season and not even just across the season, historically, look at the amount of opportunities that Villa have bottled in my lifetime. I'm talking about, cup finals at Wembley, the semi-finals against Olympiacos, Palace semi-finals in the FA Cup, Man United last day of the season. You know, there are just so many opportunities that I've seen Villa, like, even just to go top of the league, or just to, to capitalize on when someone near to us in the table was lost, just to capitalize on a mistake, an opportunity to solidify a position, and we just never do it. And I guess maybe I've got PTSD. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just traumatized. But there is nothing in me. I just feel sick about it. I just feel like we're going to lose, and it's going to make me just clinically depressed.
The only thing, can I just add one thing? So just around the not scoring. So let's just take away this game against Spurs because it was a rotated side. But before that, at Villa Park, we scored 12 goals in 4 games. So we can score goals.
I
just think we've been shit the last 3 games. Come on.
But is it just the last 3 games?
Come on, anymore. Yes, we can do it.
The thing I would say is that momentum.
Haven't we won 3 league games in 2026?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think we've won 4. We've won 4, drew 4, lost 7.
Right. Okay.
I think something like that.
Can I also just say, like, just qualify what I said earlier? But
yeah.
I really hope I am horribly wrong and Ben's right.
Yeah.
There is nothing I want more than Ben to be right. And by the way, when he puts out everything on his socials, I will be sharing it, and I will be in that party mood, and I will be, when I'm at the ground, I will be positive. But between friends, we're having a candid chat. That's just how I feel about it. And I'm not sorry about it.
That's why you're here, Sam. That's why I want you here, because I knew this is what we get.
I'm here to make Ben look good.
Exactly.
Moving Ben up in the world, mate. Get you in those corporate boxes every game so you can report properly from Adidas.
Yeah. Right. Rich, over to you, mate. Thursday, 1-0 down under the lights of Villa Park. Europa League semi-final. What are you thinking?
I'm with Ben. I want to believe that we can do it. I really do. I'm also with Sam in the fact that I don't know if I can see it. Like, part of the issue as well is the resting of rotation of players on yesterday. Why didn't we rest Tielemans and Rodgers?
Wait, has he ever rested Rodgers? Rodgers plays every under-21s game as well. Just we didn't even know that.
So we've rested Concert, Pau Torres, McGinn, obviously with a bit of a knock, and Watkins. Yeah, I mean Luca Dean and Ian Matson. Okay, there was debate as to who's number one, but obviously Luca Dean seems to be that option. Now, Emiliano Buendia seems to be the answer to all our prayers at the moment as well. Like, it's just feels a little bit straw clutching to me. Now, I know the performance is going to be better. It has to be better. I know that the mentality is going to be better. It has to be better. I know that the atmosphere will be better. It has to be better. I just don't know if we're going to have enough to turn it around. That's my only issue. I said to Sam earlier today, like, look at that Forest team. If Gibbs White can play, now that could be a bonus if he can't play. But if Gibbs White can play, there's probably 5 or 6 of those Forest players that get into our team. You look at Milenkovic, very, very good centre back. Nico Williams, very, very good fullback. You've got Anderson and Gibbs White. You've got Hutchinson on the wing. There's a debate over the strikers, and Watkins. So they've got some good players. Like, they shouldn't be in the position that they're in the league, really. I mean, obviously they are, but they are where they are. But they've now started to find some form. They're now objectively playing better football than us, and they're going to be going into this game on a massive high. Already 1-0 up, just beaten Chelsea 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. They're hardly conceding any goals. Like, at this moment in time,
as well, by the way,
we're relying on a situation that is an element of multiple combinations coming together that we don't really have any evidence of it happening. We're just hoping that will happen. We're just hoping that things will click and we'll get an early goal, or we'll get on the front foot and we'll turn it around. But I really hope that happens, and I do know that we will play better. But that's my only point: is the opposition that we're playing against is very good at the moment, very good, and they're going to be extremely difficult to beat.
Hands up like in school. Yeah, I just had to. But let me run you through another scenario. What could possibly happen is we could get a goal and we could be very tight. I know City are 3-1 down. It's mental.
3-2. Haaland's just scored.
What the hell?
Oh, 3-2. Yeah. Gary's just said Haaland scored. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just scored.
Okay. Yeah. Another scenario is we nick a goal and we defend really well. We sit deep. We get to extra time. And potentially make it to penalties. Then we only need to score 1 goal. Then it's a 50-50 game. Let's talk about penalties, shall we?
No, mate. No.
But hold on. Okay, in the league.
But we got Martinez in goal. He's a hell of a penalty saver.
Yeah, but you need to be able to score a penalty at some point, Rich. And our marksman, our number 1 goal scorer, Ollie Watkins, can't score penalties. Not only that, we've been awarded 0
I've
penalties.
just noticed your name under the thing, former VP Watkins.
Yeah, the sarcasm's not lost on some people.
3 in the Europa League this season. Have we scored 2 of them, maybe?
One of them was scored by Daniel Marlin.
Yeah, Daniel is no longer here. Morgan Rogers missed against Bologna. We were sat next to each other for that. But this is what I'm saying. Like, even if it goes to penalties, I think for me, take Villa aside from it. I think what's really making me nervous is just how positive a mindset Forest must have right now. They look invincible. Like, their second string team against Chelsea, I'm sure they were willing to lose that game, but they dominated them. They just look so good, and I think that's what's most worrying to me, because if we were both, in a poor run of form, you'd say, okay, well, it's just going to be whatever happens on the night, because both teams are pretty down and out. And it's amazing to think that us, a team in fifth in the Premier League, it had such a worse mindset than 16th place Nottingham Forest.
I know, and I think, coming to, I suppose, my thoughts on it. That is the thing, because I think there's two factors here. There's one which is the PTSD, Villa, meth bottling it, the kind of imploding in ourselves and not being able to rise to the occasion, but also just the fact that Forest at the moment, they just look like everything they're touching turns to gold. You saw them against Sunderland. Literally, they just like somehow every shot they were taking was coming off. Today, they've rotated their entire team, and I've got the in-laws all going to me going, screw you, Unai. We can rotate our team and we can still beat Chelsea 3-1 away from home. Arguably, could have been 3-0 if they hadn't got that late goal. That's what's scaring me most, is just that. And us having this ability at the moment to just not turn up in games, just not turn up. It feels like, for whatever reason, it's just not working for us right now. And I thought we were coming into this kind of run at the end of the season. We were hitting form. We seemed to be like turning it around. We had Bologna. We had and we had the Sunderland game where we actually dominated it for like 80 minutes. Like 80 minutes of that game, it was just 10 minutes of absolute chaos. But since that, nothing of this fills me with confidence at the minute. And like you said, if Onana's not there, sounds like McGinn will be there. Gibbs White, apparently it's not concussion, even though he's somehow caved in half his face, but apparently it's not concussion, so he's still going to be able to play unless they can't get that wound to heal. It just worries me. It worries me big time. And, if we can't get up for this game, then I have no idea.
I think that's the key as well. And like, for me, I know that Gibbs White got injured today, and Abbott and all of these other players, concussions. But for me, the only way we're going to get anything out of this game is if we work on ourselves. If every single player, if the players are demanding themselves and say, look, we don't care what Forest team turns up. We don't care if Wood's playing or Anderson, it's all about what we do. We have the abilities to go out and cause problems for them. We're going to create chances. We're going to play fast, because what's really frustrating me at the moment about Villa is, even like in the 80th minute, if we're 1-0 down, we're still like playing quite slowly and trying to build a very patient build up. Like, I want to see some urgency.
Intensity.
I want to see people like putting in an absolute ridiculously rash, harsh challenges because they're so like up for it and frustrated, just fucking let's get this moving. And I think that kind of pace and that kind of attitude from the players is going to do exactly what Ben wants. Is going to lift the crowd, and then we're just going to bounce off of each other.
Well, if McGinn does play and he does his usual, just I don't know, maybe he plows into Gibbs White and gives him like a shoulder in the face, and that makes him face hurt even more. All of a sudden, the crowd, the entire stadium is lifted.
But this is what I'm saying. If we go in there and we get 20 minutes of more of this of the end of the Spurs game, I promise you that atmosphere is going to fall flat, because there's only so much that the Villa fans can do, and will tolerate. Like, it's very hard to be up for a game and singing and praising if there's not anything to cheer about. Like, you have to keep the pace and the tempo high. And for me, my big worry is it just doesn't seem to be Unai Emery's way. It just doesn't.
I've got a couple of questions.
Go on, Ben.
So first one, does Forest's record at Villa Park come into it at all in any of your thinking? And then the second one is, if Onana doesn't make the game, would you put John McGinn at centre mid? Because I cannot see Bogard in there.
Yeah, so
I agree with that.
I think I've always said, if there's a record, there's some kind of record to be broken, come to Villa Park, we'll probably let you break it. Like, if a team hasn't scored for 10 games, come to Villa Park, you'll score.
It's the PTSD, that is, James. It's the PTSD.
Yeah.
tend to say. So it's that record. Maybe I don't think it plays into Forest hand with the way Forest are currently mentally. I just don't think they do. Yes, McGinn, Bogard. Like no one was good against Spurs, but my God, watching Bogard, I was literally like, he doesn't have a clue. He's all over the place. He was like a cow in the train head.
Rabbit in the headlights.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Cow, fucking hell.
You're welcome, mate.
Rabbit caught in the headlights.
Deer in headlights.
He was all. I don't know.
Yeah,
mate.
we'll go with that.
One in the headlights. Literally, he was
Rabbit, deer, same thing.
He was all at sea. So I feel like yes, McGinn. In that, if I'm honest, like yes, McGinn's fantastic going forward. I do love it watching his driving runs and the way he can play the ball. But if you need that physical kind of presence in the midfield, you need a captain and a man who is going to try and solidify that midfield. There is no one better, really, in my opinion, than McGinn. So I would 100% put him there. I don't think it will, by the way, but I would.
I hope so, because Bogard didn't get anywhere near Elliot Anderson today.
No, he's got to, Ben. He's got to play. He's got to change it and play McGinn in there. Or I don't know whether was Douglas Luiz an option because he didn't play him yesterday. Is that a consideration?
I don't think he rates him defensively, does he?
Yeah,
maybe
our
midfield
will just get run through straight away.
That's the thing we need another Douglas Luiz masterclass of mistakes in the semi-final. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking no.
We gifted it to.
That's the PTSD, Gary.
I can't do with that, mate.
Can I ask if you put McGinn in the centre, who do you put on the right? Because it's kind of leaning towards Leon Bailey. You know, there's no one else. I'm being serious.
I think it would be Sancho. I know you don't want to hear that either.
You can't, Ben. You might as well just not play the game. You might as well.
It'd be exactly the same. Put Bailey out there.
Yeah, I think I
feel like there's a better chance of Bailey doing something than Sancho. Honestly, maybe it's just me.
Out of the two, I'd go for Bailey. I think you could get if he beats his fullback, in the first 5-10 minutes.
When was the last time we did that, Rich? 2023.
Was it the Fulham game when he come on? He beat Robinson the first time he come on, and then he cut it back, and then they cleared it. But I mean, all he needs to do is beat his man and put the cross in. That's essentially what his job is. It's up to the strikers to get on the end of that. But yeah, I mean, Sancho, I don't want to see him anywhere like that. The bit where he passed it, it went straight out of play.
It was awful.
I can't watch it.
Do you know how bad it is? I would rather have Bogard at right back and put Matty Cash at right mid.
That's unfortunate.
Imagine Bogard against Gibbs White at right back. He's my god.
Yeah.
But Cash could cover him right.
But sorry, just the first question that Ben had. I do think it will come into it in some aspects. I do think that Villa and Forest that will play a little part of it, in terms of confidence and in terms of record. We've obviously had that record at St James's Park that we managed to break this season. And it obviously does play into, Old Trafford and all that kind of stuff. It obviously does play a part. So I do think it will play a bit of a part. I just agree with Sam. There has to be some intensity from the off to keep the crowd on side. Whether it's an early goal, if it's an early goal, brilliant. But even if it's not, if it's some intent, if it's a couple of good chances, a couple of big tackles, keeping the crowd on side. Because if we see Emi Martinez standing on the ball for 30 seconds inside the first 2 or 3 minutes, it's gone. It's gone.
Give Forest a reason to be nervous. Like if we come out the blocks, like a boxer who's down on points in the 12th round. And he just comes out swinging haymakers, and it's like, look, do or die, right? And if Forest see that, if the players feel that, like, oh my god, they are up for it, they are. I think that kind of intensity is intimidating for a team, and I feel like that's exactly what Rich is saying. Like, you need, it's not just to pump up the crowd, but it's to make Forest nervous.
Yeah,
because they're licking their lips tonight after that game.
It is difficult, isn't it? Because I think. Yes, I think you're right. I think we have to come out the traps. We have to go at them. We have to be super positive and make them scared. The difficulty is that Forest are very, very good on transition. So then you do get into that point of if we manage to somehow lose the ball and they nick the ball, they could easily go up the other end, score a goal, and then that's the end of it. So I don't see us going all out. I see it being quite cagey for that first 30, 45 minutes, and then that last.
But why can't you do both, James? Why can't you attack in force and still hold your shape and defend well? This is my point.
I think that's what we ideally would do. I can't. I don't see us being able.
There's no point. There's no point in like the worst thing about the way Villa have been playing, not just over the last few games, but all season, is how deep we're sat and how detached whoever is playing up front is from the rest of the team. Like this is why we can't create opportunities and why we're struggling to pass the ball through.
Yeah,
why that press is so effective is because we're so deep, push up. And I don't disagree with you, James. I can't imagine Unai Emery ever saying anything other than keep the structure, keep to the game plan, all this usual bollocks. Rich, you want to do your structure?
We got to keep the structure. The structure.
The problem we've got is if you think about that PSG game, the Champions League, right, where I thought we were going to be dead and buried. We go 2-0 down. But
that's when the shackles came off, innit?
Yeah, and we had quality though, mate. I'm looking at that Villa team in the last 3 games, and we've shown very little quality. Like particularly in the final third, we've looked void of any ideas. Like we keep going from front to back, back to front, and getting into those areas and just creating nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm watching. We get to the byline and we're hitting balls to the far post when the runs are being made to the near post, and vice versa. And going, where's the cohesion here? Where's the actual game plan when we get into that final third to create something? Do you know what I mean? We've got to score 2 goals. You've said it already, Sam. Like, even if we do that, Forest, the way they're playing, Forest, like even going back to your question, Ben, as well about the atmosphere, the record, like they're there to be broken. It's another incentive for Forest, right? You'd be going like we've scored. How many goals have they scored in the last 3 games? 12, 13 themselves. Like they're absolutely flying. And so the ball is in their court. It's down to us. And what I'm concerned about is that are we going to be up for it from the start? Are we going to be up to put our bodies on the line, to throw everything in it and go? I mean, I hope the crowd will obviously play a massive part. And I agree with you, Ben. I think I'll be there bright and early, mate. I'll be there for the bus. We'll be there trying to get the atmosphere going. These were what being a football fan's all about, these nights, right? And we will be up for it, but they've got to match that energy from the start. They have to come out the blocks flying, like we did against Sunderland. We do, so that's not like you say. Don't go back to Martinez. Fucking put the ball on them, out of play, peg them in, and make them play, right? And because if we don't see that, I will be fuming. And questions have to be asked because
if they are not up for it and they put in if they put in a shit performance. Villa Park could get really, really toxic that day because we have seen the Palace game, which was mentioned earlier. I think Sam mentioned, and then also obviously the one that against Olympiacos. We've got so close so many times, and if we don't get over the line here, it will become poisonous because it is mental. It'll be a mental thing for the club. Are we weak-minded? And that's. I'll just think I'll never see it myself or see us win anything in my lifetime because I've never seen Villa win anything. I was too young for the 96 and 94. I was a nipper, and like we've got to get over the line, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the only thing that's key. That I'm thinking, have the players learned from those experiences? Because you have to go through certain experience to learn from them, and that's one of the only things that I'm thinking. Like, are they, have they kind of taken that on board to think we can't let this happen again? We cannot let this happen again. That's why that's one of the only other things.
I said yesterday to Rich on our podcast, I think there's a lack of habitual winners in our squad. Before the first leg of the Forest game,
I mean, Man City just equalised 3-3. Doco, sorry.
Very nice. It's too little too late though, isn't it? They needed to win this. But I was saying to Rich yesterday, like we have a lack of winners. And before the first leg against Forest, I saw Ollie Watkins do an interview with TNT Sports where he said that he had never lifted a trophy as a professional footballer, never won anything. And I think about our squad and think how many players in our squad have never won anything, and you lack that sort of winning mentality for sure. And it's really dangerous for me. But I really like an idea that I've just seen in the comments from Tony D 1874. He said, "Why don't you play Watkins and Tammy?" Now that I'll tell you what would be a statement of intent. So hold on, hear me out, Ben. So Anana's out.
Ben's got smoke coming out his ears.
No. You put Begin in the middle with Tielemans, right? And then you've got Buendia and Rodgers playing as a cam, and then you have two strikers at the top. Because I would argue that whatever the existing, why are you forcing someone into a wide right position when we don't have any wingers? We don't have any wingers that can play. Change your system then. You want to play through the middle. Everything we try and do is through the middle. And Ollie Watkins is inevitably going to end up on the corner flag anyway. Even we're breaking in the middle and he fucks off to the left every single time we get the ball. So you might as well put Tammy there, have an extra, because how many times Ollie Watkins got the ball on a break and there's no one to pass it to? At least Tammy stay in the middle. I'm here for it, Tony. Great idea for me. Ben,
what are you thinking on that?
I just don't rate Tammy, if I'm going to be honest. I don't want to sound like I'm digging him out too much, but I've not seen anything since he's come back to the club to tell me.
Played more than 6 minutes.
I don't know, man. When he has played, he's played for 90 minutes. He's not produced. You know, when Watkins come off the pitch against Sunderland, I'm a big believer. One of the reasons why we were so shit was because the ball wasn't sticking up top and it kept coming back. That's Tammy Abraham's job to hold the ball up. He's the one that should be putting himself about. And we saw the minute Watkins come off, it was just nowhere near the same.
Yeah. But if you have them both together, Watkins is still doing that? No?
He would be, but who's linking the play in the centre?
He's not doing it. He's not. I mean, we can talk about
Watkins do it.
We can talk about it.
Let Tammy run after him.
We can talk about it till the cows come home, mate, but that's fantasy football, and that is. There's no way he's doing that.
Well, look, the thing is, it's weird because looking at the comments, we seem like we're so divided as a fan base now about how we should play and what we should do, and everyone. Because I think after us being realistic and going, look, you've got to look into Forest's kind of form, and this is not going to be a walkover. And you've got the other half going, it's one game, we're only 1-0 down, we're going to piss all over it. And how can you just be so blasé as if that's going to happen? As if the arrogance of that we go into this game as if we're going to win it easily. Like it's just not going to happen.
Hard to change. Momentum is so hard to change, right? And we've got a 3-game losing streak up against Forest, who are massively the other way. Yes, it can happen. Of course, it can. But I would say the odds and history probably tells us that the majority of the time it doesn't. And I think, it could.
Look, we can win the game, but we've got to put in the performance of the season. We've got to go in there. We've got to fucking be high energy, high tempo. And the problem is, like Sam said, the evidence doesn't support that's how we play. Like we've done it probably 3 times this season, right? Where we beat Arsenal at home, where we beat Man City at home. Those are phenomenal performances, and for 80 minutes against Sunderland at home, where I thought we were brilliant, and we've struggled with that. We've had that in the last 3 seasons when we beat Man City and Arsenal in that week a couple of seasons ago. Like we were brilliant because it was high tempo, high press, just go at them. And after time, it's just Emery just wants that control ball and possession-based football.
I tell you what, Kevin Jeans is the most positive Aston Villa supporter
I have
ever known. He's on our. He's a legend on our chat as well.
Kevin's got to be at least 50 because he remembers the glory days when we've won something. I'm with Ben. I've spent 35 years supporting Villa, and I've never seen us get over the line. I've seen us go to finals. I've seen us be in semi-finals of all competitions. This mentality that he has of, we can do this. I just haven't seen it. I've seen it. Mate, I was alive when we won the European Cup. I was 3 years old. Don't remember it very well, but I was here, right? I saw us lift those 2 trophies in 94 and 96. And you know what the difference is? We had a team that absolutely fucking worked their asses off. Ian Taylor in the middle of the park, or Andy Townsend. These were midfielders that just went to war, man. Without McGinn, foreign Alston's, we haven't got those players in this squad. We haven't got the mentality, and that is the difference, right? So I'm all for it. I want to be positive, I do, but they've got to show us. If they come out the blocks flying, the crowd will go up through the roof, and I believe we can do it. I really do. Right, but we've got to be on the ball, and I'm concerned because what I've watched in the last 3 games has been absolutely unacceptable football. It's like we've qualified for the Champions League. It's done. No, it's not done until it's done. Like get it done early. And now we've got to probably rely on to getting something against fucking Liverpool and City. And City are going to have to win their last game now because they've fucking fucked up there, right? So I wanted it done. Right? In an ideal world, if we'd have beat Fulham, if we'd have beat Spurs, we'd have been on the beach now for this game. It would have been relaxed and I'd have been feeling a hell of a lot more confident. So I hope we turn up. I do.
Mate, I think Kevin's right, though.
Yeah.
I think he's bang on the money. Like, special things happen at Villa Park. The atmosphere at Villa Park will be ridiculous. I don't know. I've just got this positive feeling that we're going to push over the line at Villa Park and the fans will make it happen.
I'm here for it, man. I am.
I've got the same vibes as the PSG game. I thought we were obviously we just come close to it.
We still lost that tie though.
Yeah, but what a game that was! I thought we were going to
beat them, but we lost the tie. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. We started playing.
If we beat Forest though, Sam, we can still get can still win the tie, can't we?
Yeah,
we only need to beat them on the night.
Yeah, no, not necessarily, because we can beat them and still go to penalties and lose that. Do you know what I mean? It's not. We're not.
We've got to win. We've got to win by. Yeah,
we have to win by 2 goals. Or we have to do a penalty.
PTSD.
No. Do you know what?
Penalty post-traumatic stress disorder.
Ben's right, and there are. I'm not saying it's impossible. Of course, it's possible, and you could just see an absolute masterclass. I think for me, I think it's just nerves. Do you know what I mean? I think this context is important because
we have to talk about it because we do this stuff, right? Like this is the only reason we have to talk about it.
It's a mix of nerves and frustration because like when we had the draw for the Europa League, I was like, fuck, we're on a really hard side of the draw. And then you kind of get to the stage and it's us, Forest, who were in 17th or 18th place when we first played them, and Braga and Freiburg, and you just think, do you know what? This is a really good opportunity for Villa to win to win a European competition. I think Villa always struggle most with the games that they're expected to win.
Yeah.
I think every single time the onus is on Villa, the expectation is on Villa to win. Okay. That's where we fuck up, and that's what makes me nervous. Sorry.
Well, would you not say that we're not favourites for this though?
No, of course we're still favourites. Of course we're still
really?
Like,
do you think that?
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we are. Of course we are.
Yeah.
Forest fans are still shitting themselves. I know we're a lot of us are pessimistic and worried for the game, but you see the discourse online from Forest fans. They're breaking it.
Every Forest fan I've spoke to is like,
quite because you're related to all of them, James.
Not confident. Everyone's quietly confident. Is that all I would say? I think their main thing is they said they needed a result at Forest, and they don't see us beating them at Villa Park.
I think they'd have been less confident were it not for this performance at Spurs. I think if we'd have beaten Spurs 1-0 or 2-0, I think they'd been bricking it.
That's the tone then as well. Like their supporters are going to be in great mood. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be, it's going to be an amazing atmosphere. And I was there when someone's put in the chat, we beat Tranmere 3-1 in the Coca-Cola Cup. I was there. Like, there's been some amazing experiences at Villa Park. I was at PSG again last season.
Yeah.
But I can't get out of my head, Damien Vidigani and all these people tweeting within the club, particularly him. Sunday, think about the bigger picture. We lost 1-0. We take the result back to Villa Park, and now it's fully focused on Sunday and Thursday. Thursday. But like, what focus did we have on? What was the focus? Yes, so that's half. That's 50%.
What do you want him to say, Rich? We're going to fuck off Sunday and focus on Thursday. Like, what are you going to say?
Say that again.
I said, what do you expect him to say? He's going to go on Twitter and just say, yeah, look, we're going to fuck off Sunday, but we're really going to go for it on Thursday. Like,
don't say anything. Just don't say anything.
Oh,
mate, I wish he would say that. I'd appreciate that little bit of honesty.
Yeah, Gary wants a bit of honesty. Yeah.
But you don't need to say anything. You don't need to, because he hasn't come out and said anything after the defeat, has he? He hasn't come out and said anything after the defeat. It's all well and good telling people to calm down, and it's all part of the plan, and we're all going to go for it on Sunday and next Thursday. But then he hasn't come out after that horrendous showing up yesterday and said,
no, he hasn't.
Really apologise.
I think I'd have felt better if him or Unai Emery came out after that game against Spurs and just said that was unacceptable. That was the worst thing I've seen in my time. That will not happen again. That will not happen again.
I'd have taken that.
That's what I want.
I didn't actually like Unai's words.
I didn't his words afterwards.
I didn't like his words after the Forest game. I understand the whole thing with Anderson and people going about the red card and all that kind of stuff, but like, I just didn't like the fact that he kind of flew off the handle about that fact. And then with this, he was like, we weren't good enough in the first half. And then I thought we were much better in the second. I'm just sitting there going, mate, like,
that's what winds me up as well. Yeah.
I'm going to believe that Unai Emery
you could say if you had a team was performing at 1%, and then the second half they're at 5%. Yes, they are 5 times better, but still absolute fucking shit. So it's like, wound me up. Proper wound me up.
Basically, what's going to happen is he's going to rock up to Villa Park on Thursday with a guitar and start singing Master Plan right after we win. That's what I'm convinced. I think maybe he's all part of it. Maybe it's just to wind the Villa fans up as much as possible so we can fucking know that we're going to go there and create an atmosphere, and the boys will turn up and produce. Unai Emery doesn't strike me as a stupid man, right? But his response to yesterday's game was not good, if I'm honest. It wound me up. I listened to it on the way home and I was like, fucking hell. And I didn't put anything out last night because I knew I'd fucking have a meltdown, right? So it was, I think we just have to take it on the chin and go, look, there has to be a bigger picture thing here. And that's what
the whole Villa team took it on the chin yesterday, Gary, by the way.
Well, yeah. Mate, they had their pants pulled down and Spurs had a great time at Villa Park, mate. It's like they're all lined up, bent over on the 6-yard box and fucking boom, have that, right? It's just, it has to be better. It has to be. We have to, like, and as much as we're going back and forth on this, I just, I want to be positive, like you've said, Ben. I want us to turn up and put in the performance of the season and bring it home, because I genuinely believe if we get past this into the final, I think we win it. I do. I think we go on and win it.
I think this is
do you know what's the most ironic thing about this? I'm usually one of the most negative fans that there can be. I am.
You've met your match, Ben.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about it. I think this is our year. But
vibes will take you a long way, mate.
No, I think.
Can I just say this? Matt D, right, who said that Emery played for the result. He wanted Forest to play full strength today. This whole 4D, this whole 4D chess thing. Honestly, right? So basically, what people are saying is that you would forfeit a variable that you can control, i.e., winning a game against Tottenham, to then rely on multiple other variables to try and fall into place that you have zero control over. Like, what world do people live? Like, I swear, people believe too many conspiracy theories these days. It's utterly crazy.
I want to sign like the last contribution that I'll have to Thursday's game is I really think what Ben said is important, and I don't want there to be any accusation at full time on Thursday, whether we win it or not, that we as fans didn't do absolutely everything that we could to help the boys across the line. So I'm cacking my pants at the moment, and I'll be nervous until Thursday. I'll feel horrible throughout the game, I'm sure. But I feel like if we create the most hostile, the loudest environment, we drown out, because Nottingham Forest fans are taking the piss. Even against Chelsea today, like 30 minutes in, they're doing ole on Leia. They were doing the same thing to us. And I think we just need to make it such a hostile, nasty environment. Like, it needs to be, it needs to be like that. So I'm with Ben, and I'm with every other fan who just wants to create this atmosphere and help the boys. And if we don't make it, and if we fall short, then you're not going to have the likes of Ollie Watkins and Ezri Konsa saying, "Oh, well, the fans were too quiet, and what do they expect?" and this and that. I don't want to leave any room for doubt, any room for excuses that we didn't do everything that we could to help these boys get across the line. So I'm there. I'm very excited for it. Well, either way, my nerves will be put to rest after Thursday. So man, I just hope, apart from the 2001 Intertoto Cup, I've seen us win fuck all. So
that was my first ever game, mate.
So I am, I'm just dying to win something.
What was that one we won in pre-season that John Terry had, the massive?
Oh, that big one.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
We won that one.
I missed that one. I was in Lanzarote, mate. I didn't see it.
Someone in the chat will know.
Yeah.
Was it the Peace Cup? Was it the Peace Cup or something?
Yeah, the Peace Cup. Yeah, there was a thing on the Intertoto Cup, wasn't there? Because it was like this big, and Paul Merson was like seen just laughing his ass off at how small this tiny cup was.
Like the ashes.
The thing for me, gents, is like, look, Forest fans were celebrating after that game like they'd fucking already won the Europa League. There was fans seen in the stands with a fucking like a flight ticket.
Yeah.
So that they think they're already there.
Did you hear about? Apparently, they're already like pre-selling tickets.
They are, for the final. And packages and stuff like that.
Fuck that, mate. I've got to do it just for that sole purpose.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
This is what I mean. Us as fans, we need to raise our game to our maximum level. I'll tell you what, if we do it, get over the line, I'll be going right down to the Forest fans and saying, "Ta-ra, boys."
You just go have an after party at who
say, anyone want to sell the ticket? Anyone want to sell the ticket?
Right, brilliant. Well, one last thing I wanted to do, if you guys are up for doing it, I was just going to go around and just do a prediction for Thursday.
Oof.
So, Gary, first, what is your prediction for Thursday?
Mate, I'm going to go on the positive train. I think we'll do it. I think we'll beat them 2-0. I think we'll turn up and we'll have the game of our lives, just like we did against PSG. But I think they have to, after that performance yesterday, have a perfect performance. I would have, before yesterday, I was probably going to go 2-1 and do it in extra time. But I think I want nothing more than the perfect performance tomorrow. So I'm going 2-0.
Right, Ben.
3-1, and we'll see Elliot Anderson in tears on the pitch.
Yes, Benny boy.
Nice, like it. Rich?
This is going to change daily up until Thursday. But at this moment in time, I'm going to say 2-1 to Villa, and we do it in extra time. We get over the line in extra time. We get another goal in extra time.
Wow, Sam.
6-0 Forest. No, I'm joking.
I don't even want a 5-5, if I'm honest.
I think it will be 2-1 in normal time. I think extra time will be goalless, and I think we will win on penalties. Despite everything I've said. If I'm just saying shit that I don't believe, I might just go to the
pessimistic about this.
No, but this is the thing. If I'm manifesting, then I might as well just go on the complete opposite scale of what I think will actually happen. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to go 2-1 in the game, penalties, Emi Martinez, hero. Ollie Watkins will slip but accidentally score his penalty, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to be great. I'm here for it.
I don't want to end it on this note, but for some reason I've just got a 1-1. I've just got a 1-1 sitting in my head. That's
do you not understand what we've all done here? We all know it's going to be 1-1.
I know.
Get out, James. You had one job.
No one's saying what they actually think the score's going to be, James.
Exactly.
You're not listening to Ben.
I really do hope, though, if we do get through, that Villa fans don't pitch invade for getting through to a final.
No.
Bad
idea.
Yeah.
Mate, pitch invade, you win the fucking thing. You miss Istanbul by all means, but no,
if you see me on the pitch, it's just to go get that flight ticket to Istanbul. That's the only reason.
You just run. If we all, as long as it's just,
you'll run past Ben and be like, "I thought you said don't go on the pitch."
Yeah.
As long as all.
I'm going to go to Morgan Gibbs White and take his stitches out. I'm going to be like that. I can have that.
Yeah, as long as all it is us just running over to the Forest fans just to celebrate on their faces, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. Right. Well, thank you so much, gents, for joining me. That was a really, really good chat. Gary, as always, we finish off with your final thoughts and you singing us out. So please do so.
Yeah, boys, thanks again for your input. Top guys, as usual. Go and follow all these guys if you're not already. Villa Park Podcast, Ben. They do great stuff, inspiring stuff, work, lads. And I'm going to be positive. I think we're going to do it. I will be there from, I don't know, I might camp overnight on Wednesday and just be there from like outside early doors, outside the Trinity Road waiting for that bus. But yeah, like if you're going on Thursday, make sure you bring the noise. Like, you know, whatever you feel, positive, negative, just kind of like, let's get behind the boys in claret and blue. Let's bring a little bit of history back to Villa Park. And as always, every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
See ya.